ilifika point I can't even blow a whistle. Najua tu bao, lakini kiita huko amepiga kelele, if I don't call him,
Upige kelele.
I cried that night.
Mhm.
Cried, and sadly, I had no one to talk to about it.
Mm.
So I endured best venye huwa tuna deal with that situations, and if I'm gonna be a referee, I have to be confident in the decisions that I'm making. Kenye huwa inaleta a lot of conflict between players and referees as well as coaches, lack rule knowledge. Sitaki kukuta referee anaingia kwa court na watu wanasema ai.
What is one rule that every player should know by heart?
The throw-in foul the last 2 minutes.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Collins on the mic, take that journey inside.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Collins Odhiambo, and welcome to another episode of Hoop Diaries with Collins, where basketball stories come to life. And today we are joined by Hazel Agina, a woman whose journey from a curious player to an international referee is rewriting the script for women in African basketball. So today, get ready to hear about resilience, mentorship, and the power of asking, why not me? Welcome to the episode. Hazel, how are you doing?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good. How is your day today? Hii asubuhi na mapema.
Day is good. I'm not complaining. The day has started.
Nice. That is good. That is good to hear. Do you have any officiating work today?
Yes, for sure. This is my duty. Lazima weekend.
Yeah. Nice. So first off, thank you so much for coming to the show. I remember we talked and you are out of the country on some assignments, and you told me nikirudi hivi tunafanya hii kitu. So I'm happy that you're here, and without any further ado, wacha tuingie kwa hii maneno. So you can introduce yourself if need be. You can introduce yourself, and then the first question is normally tell us how you got into basketball.
All right. My name is Agina Odwer. I'm a international referee as well as national referee. Local.
Yeah.
I love officiating, and the passion have grown with time and it's growing in me. My interest in basketball started way back when I was in my estates. Actually, I was a footballer.
Like all of us.
And my coach, who is also a very my life today, Evelyn Kedogo, is the one that told me, hey, I need you to come and play. Yeah, if you don't know basketball, you just come and run and score, lay up, play defense. Nothing else. Basically, that's how my basketball journey started. I didn't play basketball in primary. I didn't play secondary.
Wow.
I didn't campus. I started after I finished my 6th year.
Wow. Which year was this, if you can remember?
Now was in 2019. It's when I played my first season at
What? 2019. Wow, that is amazing. That is surprising. You started playing basketball in 2019. That is like how many years? Like 6 years ago. That is amazing, man.
Dani is not Yautero Manini, but we got
Wow.
into this.
Because wow, because I've seen you play. I think tukikuwa hata pale Shauri ama hata tu kwa league, I've watched you play, and if you're able to play like that in a span of like 5 years, then hapo pia ulichapa kazi. I'm not surprised that now you are an international referee. Wewe nikao ukiamua kufanya kitu unaenda nayo, unasonga nayo na unaishika haraka, because mimi nadhani ungeniambia you started playing basketball like back in high school or something like that. That is awesome, man. That is awesome. We, sawa sawa. That is surprising. I normally love those stories, how somebody started playing basketball. Now, we'll just go into your journey now, curiosity, and getting into this world of reffing. So, what is it about officiating that captured your imagination, and how did that curiosity grow?
Well, I, the saying, the curiosity killed the cat must have lied. That's, yeah. I remember there was a game we were playing NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's how these were making those calls that how do they know things? How do they know to make the calls? Is there like something they are looking at? Is someone talking to them for them to make these calls? And
Mm.
these guys must be so smart. I
Mm.
lack of knowledge in basketball and my short term in the space, but
Mhm.
that much knowledge and knowing when to blow the whistle and exactly what to call fascinating. So this was just a random question to my coach. I said, "Hey, coach, how do these people know how to calls?" And
Ah.
unataka kujua? Nikamwambia sahii nataka kukua superstar kwanza. So the something was being, ilikuwa inakuja, something was rising.
Mm. Mm.
Uh, I think from hapo there was I think it's a Defense Commission with alliance to FIBA
Mhm.
clinic to support women in coaching, and I think all officials.
Mhm.
And my coach just said, "Yo, carry your bags. I've paid your
Mhm.
transport. You go. Decide to take Dar es Salaam on you. For me, I've done it." Yeah.
Ah. Wow. Now, even on that point, seeing women like Joan, um, Carolina, on the court, on those early days, they were there refereeing. Like June is a legend. Hopefully, one day I'll have her on the show. I'm a ref for very many years. Now, seeing women like that, in those early days, taking charge in this space that was mainly, you know, it's mainly dominated by men. What did that, how did that make you feel? Ama, did that inspire you to like, manze, I have to do this thing of refereeing? Ama, did it have any impact on you?
Okay. I remember watching figures like Junol Watch, Caroline
Mm.
Ouma, the way
Mm.
they spoke so high. I think at that time had to be the most known two elite referees we had in our local league at that time. And
Mm.
players and even coaches say because if Junol Watch is officiating, we are okay. If
Yeah.
okay. And also watching them and the energy they come with and how they walk with confidence. I just,
Mm.
it was really motivating for cause first of all, one
Mhm.
wengi. And to only be two ladies that
Mm.
male dominated field professionally, I how hard and I mean how hard you have to work. to get
Yeah.
space and positions to even be. So these were the motivating factors I also had.
Mm.
All what was given on court, I said I have to also.
Ah, nice. So she was like source of inspiration. And speaking on that part of inspiration and motivation, also, and just having people to look up to, people to guide you. We've just talked about Kedogo and you going to Jerusalem for the officiating clinic. So I believe that was a turning point. But what I want to know is, what did you discover about the world of refereeing there that surprised you or that changed your perspective about, officiating in basketball or being a ref?
Let me just culture shock is a real thing.
Yeah.
But I saw things that I have never seen in my local league, especially how
Mm.
reflected the professionalism that was being portrayed by the referees, how they
Mm.
were carrying themselves out, talking.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Actually got a chance to sleep with the international referees at the same hotel when we were. So we really
Mm.
interacted a lot, and this also had perspective because you'd find. I think uh, the first time I went for the clinic, I was not interested at all.
Oh, yeah.
They
Mm-hmm.
go backbench, just pass time and kuonyesha we dance.
Mm.
First game that I attended, I,
Mm-hmm.
referees were had their own escort, came back, back gears with bodyguards, and who are these people?
Officials. Mm.
Referees? No way.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, back at home, I've never seen this at all.
Yeah.
To I don't know, it had no much significance to it locally until
Mm.
on the international level. And even the way we work in as a team, what I'm black ready for
Yes.
one job.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
I mean,
changed my mind. I wanted to be there. I wanted there.
nice. Wow. Ah. So that inspired you. You're like, I want to be part of a team like that. I want to be there dressed up. Unajua venye wangu wametuck in, wakita foul venye naonanga venye mnainua mkono eh. Kasema nataka hiyo swag. Ah.
Referee ako na bodyguard. Come on.
Who doesn't want that?
I mean,
Hmm? Ah, man. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Now, as you now start to train and learn about officiating, what are some adjustments that you had to make mentally or emotionally that helped you make that step to now become a referee?
okay. For me to get into the space of officiating, I
Mm.
should have the knowledge of officiating.
Mm.
I had to catch up because even
Yeah,
at the most that came, they had prior knowledge. They knew what they were doing and
they were doing, yes.
no idea. So number one, I had to know rules. Number two, I had
Mm-hmm.
that refereeing is just not about blowing the whistle. It comes with the service that you professional service that you give. It comes with integrity,
Mm.
with hard work, discipline.
Mm. Mm.
Believed that if I can somehow take these characters, I can come up with the that even I myself can be. So the first step that I took when I came back home was to try
Mm-hmm.
to get.
Mm-hmm.
I had never officiated before, not even I didn't even own a whistle. So I had to officiate another step forward, and it was hard because I can't blame anyone. No one has seen me officiate, but a lot.
Yeah.
So when you tell someone, hey, nimetoka clinic na nimekuja officiate, guys, ah, there's a lot out, and took me a while
Yeah.
to, and I thank God that the CL League
Mm-hmm.
a chance to nurture this new profound journey that I had.
Mm. Ah, interesting. Now you've talking about, now let us go into, you navigating now this officiating journey where, it's mostly male dominated. So I'm just curious to know, having to work, right now is like you have to work twice as hard, sometimes still be seen as just a female, another female referee. So how have you learned to navigate those perceptions, and what has kept you going during the tough moments?
Okay. This field is tough. It's tough being a female referee in a male dominated field. Because for one,
Mm.
expecting you to act, sometimes we have our emotional. It is
Mm-hmm.
once you show on court, it's automatically
Mm.
you completely from the, because any decision that will be termed as emotional. So
Mm.
find that when you get at the when you have a game, you have to have and confidence that whatever you're doing is for the
Mm-hmm.
best. I've had a lot of mentors that have given me, advised me, have shown me the way.
Mm.
Big personalities out here breaking up, and these are guys either, but if they did it, can do it too. If they were
Mm.
maneuver these obstacles and they found a way to make it work, I wish
Mm.
to, because
Mm.
I have dreams of officiating in the highest possible competition.
Mm-hmm.
I have to work hard towards. I have to imitate the guys that have been there before, and that, so I
Yeah.
no excuse.
Mm. Do you have like an incident, specific incident, maybe local or international stage, where you felt the weight of these biases most strongly? How did you handle it, and what did it what did it take you to like ease yourself and just continue with your journey even though you're feeling this pressure? I'ma continue officiating the game.
Okay. Well, internationally, I have
Mm-hmm.
not yet on court have an experience that imefanya nime
Mm.
away, but
Uh-huh.
locally I have had, yeah.
Ai! Oi. Mm-hmm.
I think the one I will never forget was a game
Mm-hmm.
between Strathmore and your and Dynamo. is
Mm.
Kent Juma at that time.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
When I was told that I need to officiate this game, I thought it's just any other easy game. There is
Mm.
pressure, no pressure. Yo, it was
Ulishangaa.
fire.
Mm-hmm.
After
Mm-hmm.
the game, Coach Ronnie tested my confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Ken, sorry, tested my ability to make decisions on court and defense,
Mm.
and I
Mm.
terribly, terribly. Unajua ilifika point I can't even blow a whistle. Najua tu bao, lakini kiita huko amepiga kelele, if I don't call it,
Mm. Upige
then
kelele. Mm.
I cried that night.
Mm.
Cried, and sadly, I had no one to talk to about it.
Mm.
So I endured first venye huwa tuna deal with such situations.
Mm.
But learned two important things that day. I learned
Mm-hmm.
that if I'm gonna be a referee, I have to be confident in the decisions that I'm making. And number two, as a
Mm-hmm.
woman on court, already,
Mm.
so if I keep on making people definitely out of look to and the ones that have pushed me to the referee that I am today, composed and confident on court.
Mm. 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 So I'm just curious now. In the face of competition, both healthy and toxic, what strategies have you developed to protect your morale and stay focused on your own journey as a referee?
Okay, first of all, you have to understand this field is very competitive,
Mm.
and it comes with the ups and downs, and that means that saa zingine, sometimes your teammates might not up to you to decide how you're going to over that.
Mm.
So I've always kept my straightforward. It's
Mm-hmm.
work. If
Mm-hmm.
other to grow, then unfortunately we are gonna be colleagues on course, do our job, brought us into the space to do, and we
Mm.
finish. If we cannot uh, criticize each other positively, if you cannot correct me, if you cannot sit down with me and tell me if I'm doing something wrong, part that I'm not correct, uh, I'm- we cannot be more than colleagues. So these are the
Mm.
and myself, I'm very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Every game that I do, I have to work on have to work on my growth. I want to be better. I want to have my name out there, someone saying, hey, Hazel has been somewhere. This is what I want. So I
Mm.
had amongst guys that have been in the field for a very long time.
Mm.
So for some reason, you just have to find a circle that you can grow, people that help can pull you up when you feel devastated in terms of intense game, both mental.
Mm.
You get mental challenges sometimes when games are tough.
Yeah.
Feel when we have a shitty game.
Mm-hmm.
The, my service to the game is to the yeah. If I'm not
Mm.
for a referee that is looking to grow, for a referee that is looking to You feel you've not delivered, it drains you because you want to be.
Yes.
So basically, my boundaries are there, my discipline is there, respect also has to be there.
Yeah.
It's always about personal and the desire to.
You've said you've talked about your mental. So I want us to maybe dive into your now preparation and some bit of how you run your things professionally. So can you just walk us through your preparation before a big game? You're going to ref Thunder versus KPA. So how do you blend your mental, physical, and emotional readiness to ensure that you are at your best on the court?
Okay. For one thing, I all games are equal to me. Doesn't matter if it's under or KBA or a Div 2 game or a lady.
Mhm.
The preparation, the discipline, the habits have to be this. I cannot one day I'm very ready, the next day I'm not ready. So
Mhm.
for mental preparation, I have to be aware. Unajua huwezi enda shamba bila jembe.
Yes.
And our of the rules is our jembe. So
Mm.
we have to stay ahead of the rule changes, the interpretations, the new mechanics of how to run the game. These are things that stay on top of. And then normally during the week, it's a habit.
Mhm.
Euro NBA, get I get referee- high level referees making different decisions and the interpretation.
Mm.
And I pick up the good habits that I
Mhm.
want
Mm.
them happen in a game. Last
Mhm.
as a ref, manze lazima ukwe lazima
Yeah. Lazima lazima. Mm.
basi ma ni ma 1 minute 8 seconds and I have to keep up with the
Mm.
this a call that was crucial. So
Mhm.
four games even midweeks I do a lot of runs, probably 6 kilometers,
Mm.
home workout, jumping, ropes.
Mhm.
The whole then we are good to go with some music. I'm good to go.
Nice. Kwa hivyo pia hii tu officiate pia tu ni just another is like you are a player because you must have your because you have to be like in a given mental space, so you have to like prepare before the game. And I know, yeah, I've actually seen in another podcast where a referee was talking about, was it a podcast or was it a documentary where he talks about how you had to train, you had to do some extra workouts, stretching and everything. And I remember even a coach saying, no, a referee talking about the fact that if you're not nervous before a game, something is wrong with you as a referee. So your preparation muhimu. So if you're watching this show up to this time, man, thank you for joining us. Thank you for helping us grow. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So remember to subscribe, share, and like, and also leave a comment if you have any comment. Okay. Otherwise, tuendelee na show. Now we've just spoken about your preparation, and maybe you can share with us what have you learned about yourself through this process, and how has it shaped you um, as an official, ama on your path to becoming a better official, being focused on, I have to run 6 kilometers, I have to listen to this music before a game. So what have you learned about yourself through this process?
Okay. I think it's still a learning process, but so far, out
Mm.
that I am flexible to change. I am
Mm.
flexible to learning learning every time. And I think that's a good habit
Mm.
to have,
Mm.
being disciplined.
Yeah.
Referees, we are held to high standards. We run and everyone expecting us to run the game with full intensity without being so when I getting into this has helped in
Mhm.
I don't know what people will say, but
Mm. Yeah.
it's my integrity and my fairness for game. And this is not
Mm.
my professional life, my personal life. I want
Mm.
to in life that someone can come up to and say, okay, the way this lady is moving, I want to move that way. Just
Mm.
other prominent, uh, big, yeah, elite referees doing. I want
Mm.
that same person. I don't want mtu ananiangalia naingia kwa court and guys are like,
Tuko nao bana, unawaona hivi uko like woi. Yeah, so man, that is good. That is good. It's all about you growing. It's all about you growing, and growing your confidence based on your routine and what you're doing. And now, speaking of confidence, officiating alongside icons like Dorothy Okacho, Joyce Mucheno, and Zuzu must have been something special for you. So, can you take us inside your own personal experience, and what did it mean to you to officiate alongside these legends here, and how did that influence your confidence? Because now you're on the same stage with them.
okay, I want you to understand that the Dorothy O'Hatch, Joyce Bruce,
Mm,
lead female referees that we have in Africa. And tunawaona well, that time nilikuwa nawaona kwa vitabu, kwa IREF where we read
mhm,
a picture, they're talking they're talking in seminars, they're having
mm.
and my fun meet them all at once.
Yeah.
And it was mind-blowing for me because, I thought it was gonna take me like a lot to get to
Yeah. Mhm.
national assignment in Kigali, Rwanda.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
met I met Joyce Mkelu, met I got a chance to officiate with them and they
Mm.
part. And the thing that I just love to say, and not like to say is there's a there's always a gap between new international referees and
Mm.
old referees.
Yeah.
So when this space, you'd find that I didn't struggle. Figures like Grace, Dorothy, Zuzu, they made it so easy for us to blend in without having to
Mm.
feel We are being
Ah,
demeaned, being
that is
sidelined.
nice. Mm,
They were so ready to teach us. They were go an extra mile and show us how things are done. And
mm,
I have never appreciated something, even till now. It's one of my conflicts with Dorothy Okai. Taught me, alinimarinate, wacha niseme alinimarinate. When I got on court, I knew if situations, how it, as much as I was new and it was my first game, I felt like I was already a part of national FIBA family.
mm, mm,
This had to be my most memorable moment ever.
mm, mm. Wow. God steps, my friend. God steps. Mungu anapanga vitu zake vizuri sana. Yeah. So, man, that is wonderful. That is big up, man. Big up to those referees, man. Creating that path for you guys, and then also um, being able to guide you in that on that international stage. So let's just talk about something about we talked about Afrobasket qualifiers in Egypt must have marked a high point in your career. So what did that achievement represent to you personally, and how did it reflect your journey so far?
For the far that I have come, test na niseme
Mm,
how and what it.
mm,
Baskets qualifiers that happened in Cairo was the highest level of officiating that I got to be a part of. And officiating that game, I could tell that my habits, my play calling, my selection in calling fouls, my confidence,
mm, mm,
my management of the game, composure,
mm,
I had so much so fast. And people could see that. Everyone was telling me, Hazel, you've grown so fast, and this is what we need. I am
mm,
I am proud that I work. I had a desire to learn and
mm.
say that I'm not there yet for sure. I'm not there yet. I still
Yeah.
have work to do, but it's somewhere. And that is something I don't take for granted.
Mm. Mm. Wow. So I'm just curious. So you like, for example, those games, how do they select? Or you just get a call like you are welcome to come and officiate these games. Ama how do they select? Is it like unajua you normally have a team that is selected. For example, the basketball players who are going to represent the country. So I don't know, in your case of officiating, is it that it is something that like I think like we have like a Kenyan referee board or something like that. Hao ndo wanasema huyu ndiye aende, ama those guys just contact you directly and like kuna hii gig, kuja uperform huku hivi.
I hear you.
Mm.
So FIBA have their own way of making that even I still do not understand, but I know it's based on your hard work, your
Yeah.
effort, and your leadership on court.
Mm.
So if you get nominations from FIBA is the one
Okay.
that you they select who federation communicates to. So if FIBA
Mm-hmm.
selected means that FIBA have seen that you're someone that wants want to keep working, your
Mm.
discipline, your way of yourself in court, your play calling, it's
Mm.
something that I think that is something they can work with rather than
Mm.
making effort at all. So also
Ah.
our kids, we have supervisors,
Mm-hmm.
evaluators. When we get on court, we have people that are watching us. We have people that
Ah.
say your progress during the game, fitness, your play calling, how to handle
Mm.
yourself in and out of the court. They
Mm.
put these things together and then they send a report to FIBA. So if your report is good, then that means you're making progress on yourself. If your report is bad, then unfortunately things will be tough.
Ah. Wow. Okay. I see. I see. Because I've noticed somebody like Erico. Actually, nitamtafuta pia nimlete kwa show. I've seen is also like kwa hizo international gigs is normally there a lot, anaitangwa a lot. So it means, but Erico is a great ref, man. Like when you manage game, how he talks to the players, and I've learned a lot from him. Hiyo tukiongeanga tu ananiambia Kolo, by the way, hii ni foul ama angalia hii ama ongea na coach, unajua nitampea ti nini. So unaanza you start understanding, unajua haya. So he's not only refing but he's also teaching you about some rules. He actually told me that rules change almost, like even after the Olympics there are some rules that changed. So rules keep on changing. Yeah, and so it means there's a gap there between, us knowing the rules. Even the coaches themselves don't know some rules. That's what I've come to learn. Actually there are some rules hata makocha hawajui, so akopa na complain, lakini ni juu ajui hiyo call ama hiyo foul ama hiyo kitu kaa hiyo. So hapo pia kuna kagap which maybe tutakuwa na episode tukiongelea tu vitu kama like fouls and what not, so that people at least understand that. But hii journey yako, you started basketball in 2019, sasa tuko 2025, already you are getting international gigs, so it means that was your path. You grew very fast in basketball, nikakuona ukicheza. Now you got into the world of officiating, na ndio hiyo pap umeenda. So it means you are disciplined, you are focused, and you are interested in growing in your career as an official, which I think is which I think are good principles, and we can actually all of us learn from that. So hapo umefanya kazi mzuri, man. So you've seen young girls approach you, inspired by your example. So how does that make you feel? Now already you're becoming a role model at a young age. Ushaanza kuwa a role model. How does that make you feel?
But seeing young girls approaching
Mm.
me, referee, hiyo umeita kwa nini? Referee, mi nataka kukua kama wewe. Na nikifanya
Mm-hmm.
mzuri, they ask a lot of questions, some challenging, some
Yeah.
who ask a lot of questions. This generation is very careless. They anything.
Yeah.
But I know for sure someone is watching me and they're going to ask me a question and I have to be ready for that question.
Yeah.
So nikiwa pale court,
Mm.
there's I told Akuje Nyayo that
Mm-hmm.
she's in right now. She wants to get into officiating. And
Mm.
if at that age akona interest already, for me, my interest had to be sparked.
Yeah.
Ilikuwa ijamstatiwe.
Yeah, na kidogo.
But saw something in me that even I had not seen in myself.
Mm. Mm.
I'm looking at the perspective here. this kid already, you can see akona interest ya kukua an official
Official, yeah.
to the space, na waanze mapema. By the time wanafika the age of being an international referee, these guys, they don't have to again all over to,
Yeah.
they don't have to do catch up. They're already in the game. They already understand the mechanics, how the game is being
Mhm.
moving. They know
Yeah.
kuanza tena. So if I believe that if watoto kama hao wakiniona kwa court and I can ignite something like that, then
Mm.
I want to be, I don't know how to say this, but them wakiniona, they
Yeah.
they know the future is bright. They know they have an opportunity in this space without
Mm.
without having to feel sidelined or kama they don't belong to this space because of their age.
Something you can advise our local players to maybe, or maybe there are some things you can advise our local players to help improve the communication between officials and players, because I know some things. I've done my research, there's some things I know, and that's why ni ngumu sana upate niko na shida na ref fulani hapa Kenya, because I know how to communicate with them. So I don't know if maybe you have some ideas or tips you can give, in fact, for players and coaches, some tips on terms of communicating with the referee.
Okay.
Mm.
Um, I have officiated games that play challenge of rule
Mhm.
knowledge. Players are many in terms of the court made and would come and tell you, ref, we know what
Mm.
unajua nini imefanyika. And you see, they understand the game. They know the game. They know we are also human.
Yes.
One, no referee can say they're 100%. Never. Even
Yes.
most decorated referee,
Mm.
one of the best supervisors that we have in Africa, Mr.
Mm.
can tell you, he even up to now he still keeps learning from players and other young guys how to still grow in this space.
Mm.
Hakuna kupatia 100%.
Yeah.
We know for sure when we give 80%, good, the game has been well managed. I
Mm.
Kenya huwa inaleta a lot of conflict between players and referees as well as coaches. The
Mm.
lack of rule knowledge.
Mhm.
It's well, some players don't understand it well. The
Mm.
interpretation ndio kuna conflict kidogo. How the coaches are interpreting the rules, how the players are interpreting the rules, and how we referees are interpreting is different. So until each of us, from players to coaches to refs, to quite flexible and understand each other's perspective, then vitu huwa ngumu. But conflict on courts between players is just venye, I'm gonna say my point of view.
Mm.
A conflict with a player on court, I will go up to the player nimwambie, hey, why do you have a different perspective from me? And some will tell me that, hey, Agi, hapa kidogo niliona umeita hivi na nikafeel hivi,
Mm.
and I tell them my perspective, and then they'll be like, oh, when they tell them and I know I'm wrong, I will say my bad, I'll work on it
Mm.
next time. I have to work on it. Si kila time nasema my bad, my bad.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's bad, my bad. So
Mm,
I referees hawafai kuonekana kama the enemies of the game, because
mm,
players wanaona referees anawakatia, anafanya hivi.
mm,
I believe if it's a habit that can be formed from the as coming out, yeah, at least one a session, yeah, rule knowledge to understand. I've seen you
mm,
in basket players in playing so smart with the knowledge of the rules. They know when to
mm,
foul, what the calls the referees are making, the que-
mm,
the call that they expect.
mm,
I believe that from the junior level, if players, apart from skills and apart from hizo mashika na whatnot,
mm.
the rules can also be a part of training session ya players. Then this will
Yes.
be in our local league.
Yeah, I remember when we had our Hoopspire Academy camps in April, we had Coach Mzee, is actually one of referees. He had sessions where he would teach the young players about rules, and actually during those sessions, personally, I also learned some few things. I was like, oh, no wonder big man wangu kujanga ke screen. In my mind, I'm like, huyu jamaa alikuwa amesimama, but unapata kama alitufundisha the idea about distance and space, how you set your screen. So with that understanding, you're like, you can go back to your players and tell them, we ukiweka screen lazima uweke hivi, huwezi weka na huyu jamaa mnakuja mnapatana alafu una complain ati siku move, ndio huku move, but kuna hiyo aspect ya distance and space, lazima uweke at a distance akuje akupate. So unaona such things, because yeye ndiye aliniambia hata also um, after the Olympics rules changed, so there needs to be that education of rules. So I don't know, is there anywhere online that somebody can check? Is there like FIBA? I know FIBA maybe might have those rules somewhere in a PDF. Ama, is there a place we can get the rules?
Yes, yes, we have apps inaitwa iRef.
IREF.
They're
Okay.
in they're in app stores. You just download
Mm-hmm.
it. They're all
Mm-hmm.
materials that you need to even know how
Mm.
to game, the rule changes, even long time the rules that were there a long time ago and the changes that were input and what changes were
Mm.
all of them.
Nice. IREF. You've heard it, guys. IREF. Hiyo kwanza mimi na download after hii naanza kuipitia, because I also think when you know rules, kuna kitu kingine pia I saw during the Wades era ya kufake, ya kupata a lot of free throws, era ya James Harden when he introduced the step back, uh, Kobe, unajua kutafuta foul through contact. They all said one thing. They said that they studied the rules and they knew mali kuna shimo, like so if I go, yeah, if I swing my hand na huyu jamaa mkono yake iko hapa chini, ni fake shot, nenda kwa free throw. So and after some time the NBA realized, and then they decided, okay, we have to change this rule. So also it's also a good thing for us as players also, and even coaches, to know these rules so that we can actually know. Tunaweza argue, call ikimekiwa, you can argue and say no, this is the exact call, this is the rule. So it is important to use the rules. So guys, tuchangamke bana, tujue hizo rules. So now your current initiative focuses on early exposure. You talked about this, of early exposure of young referees, and you've talked about the importance of them starting early. So what do you hope for them to gain through this early exposure of officiating the professional way, or even just growing in this field of officiating? What do you hope that they gain from this approach?
Okay. This initiative is purely based on the future. Na tuko nayo is
Mm,
the under 16s. If we
mm,
can nurture that interest into something that brings out an elite referee at a young age, that is the target
mm,
that we want breaking barriers. Right now, I'm
mm,
referee in the international field. Now, if we can even have a younger one to make progress or to get into big and do so well, these are things that we
mm,
need to can beat our chest and be
mm,
proud. This is why this initiative here. Tunataka players wakigrow,
mhm,
just know that it's about yeah, there's being an elite referee. Being an
mm,
as per right now, we are even having an outstanding female referee coach of coaching high level players.
mm,
They've gone to Bali.
mm,
If tunaweza pick these talents wakiwa bado
mm,
wadogo, then
mm,
the basketball community, we are gonna go far. We have to start all over again after nimetoka tena mwingine after me
mm,
have the system going on till ametoka, someone else is there and they are ready, they know what to do. Journalism iko hapo, walishaanza mapema, hapo ni kuendelea tu na safari. This is
mm,
because before there was another international female referee here in Kenya. A lot
mm,
of that
mm.
is when they say after a long time we've had a female international referee. Why that long break for us to
Yeah.
so
Mm, mm,
and reduce that gap? Get just idea the basketball, even in leadership roles. These young kids are the next next women's commission. They are the next. These are the next uh, stars that we have, and lazima tuanze nao mapema. We don't have to wait until vitu ziko last minute.
yeah. Mm, mm. Mapema ndio best. Mapema ndio best. Ah man, interesting story, interesting perspective. I've enjoyed the show man. So far, so good. Nimelearn vitu moja mbili pia hii mambo ya side ya officiating. So now just looking into the future or the guys who are coming up as we still talk about, mentoring these young ladies. So what message can you share with that young lady somewhere who maybe looks up, sees you, sees these other refs? We also saw some refs during the Olympics, female refs. So what message can you send to them? This young lady who wants to become an international referee like you.
Make the first step. Passion into you has to be ni wewe ndio lazima utuonyeshe you want, and from there we can work with that.
Yeah.
When you start tunajua basi ndio huyo tume
Bad.
for any
Mm,
there that is interested in officiating, please take the first step. Seek guidance. We are here. We are approaching. We want to see you grow. We want to see you
mm,
footsteps. So don't be afraid. We are here.
mm. Nice. Yeah, man, you've had. Take the first step. Young ladies want to coach, take the first step. And then from there, just like Refa said here, manze, things will just come together. If you're really interested and you're focused and you want to learn, the teachers will appear. The teachers appeared for her. Now she's an international ref. So you can do the same for yourself. Now, if you're watching us up to this time, again, thank you for staying tuned. Remember to subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. We normally love those. We normally love those comments. Yeah. So I'm just curious. At what kind of impact do you hope to leave, not just on the game, but on the people around you and the people and the community around you? What impact do you want to leave?
Sitaki kusikia referee anaingia kwa court na watu wanasema ai.
Unataka ukiingia watu wanafurahia.
Yeah, I want to step on court and people feel like we have a referee who has our best interest at heart. So just our job to play. Hakuna kufikiria vitu mingi. So I want a legacy of integrity, a legacy of discipline, a legacy of that is all I want, and that is all I'm working on.
Ask you some quick fire questions. So you're just going to give me the answer that comes to your mind. The first answer that comes to your mind. So number one, your favorite player.
A player that I like
Yeah, your favorite basketball player.
locally.
It can be any. It can be anywhere. Locally, internationally.
Kyrie fan any day, anytime.
Yeah, I think you also used to play with Kyrie, isn't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Umenisoma.
Nakumbuka. What is one rule that every player should know by heart?
The throw in foul the last 2 minutes.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Look, I feel like as a player, if I knew these rules, ningekuwa nazitumia vibaya sana. The throw in foul the last 2 minutes. This rule is both like kama player ukijua, there's a way you can use it to your advantage. How you want to use it, that's up to you. Initially ilikuwa unsportsman when you foul a player when the ball is not inside yet the court in the last 2 minutes, right? But I think FIBA decided it was too harsh, and sometimes players kuna hiyo move around and you want to just catch up with the defense. And I've seen people use this rule and hata mimi mwenyewe nasema, hey, if I knew this. I've seen people, there was a game back in Egypt, not in South Africa, sorry. What even fascinated me more is these are kids. These are literal kids. So what they were doing, they want to cut, they want time, they need more time, and they need to recover the game. So the the offensive player were inbound their own defense, right? The whole game they've not been fouling, so they need to stop the time. So how do they do? They foul a player that they know is not gonna make a basket akienda kwa free throw for the shooting one.
That is before the ball comes into the court.
Before the ball goes in, yes. So they were trailing, I think, 12 points down. They used this inbound opportunity to make sure wako kwa team fouls zao zimejaa, in that if an attempt is made again, it's only about shooting and they get the possession. You understand? So that's what they did. Before player inbound ball ingie ndani, washa foul ule player anajua haizi funga. Sasa si yeye ndio lazima ataenda kwa line. Ataenda kwa line, ameuza. They did it 4 times until they got to bonus. Then they let the ball go in. And then they fouled the same player immediately. A second of the game, and it was like 58 seconds to play. Then boom, ameenda the other side, amefunga moja, ameuza moja, they are 13 points down. They take the ball, wanakuja hii side, 3 points. That is how they won that game. So
Understanding the rules.
exactly. Sometimes the rules is not just there kukua policed around. You can use the rules to your advantage. You can use the rule to maneuver through and be smart about it and find a way that you can win the games with. Rules is just kitu iko hapo center ya venye utashinda, so ni wewe udecide kuitumia. We referees, we use it to enforce, to make sure that players are safe on court, the
Yes.
game flowing. Coaches use it to come up with smart plays and all that. Players should also use the same rules to be smart and have high IQ on court.
That is interesting. Unaona, nakwambia I'm going to download that. I'm going to download that app, man. iRef. I'm going to download so that such things are important to know. And also players should know, but more specifically coaches should know, because at times the players might not know, but they trust your judgment and they trust your guidance. So if you say, guys, we are going into the game, and before they inbound that ball, I mean, make sure you foul this particular player. So at times they might not know what you are telling them to do, but it works. And then maybe later you explain to them, okay, oh, this is the throw-in rule. So that is interesting. That is interesting. Very nice. So guys, you've had know that rule, Jama, and read more rules so that you can use them to your advantage. Otherwise, man, I'm so happy and thankful for the opportunity that you gave us today, for coming to the show, sharing your journey from your diary. That's why it's called Hoop Diaries. We've learned a lot. We've had a lot from you, and hopefully you've inspired other girls to do the same. And maybe next time pia sasa nitakuwa na another lady again aseme manze nilionanga Hazel hapa hivi ikani inspire. Pia mimi sasa niko hapa manze, I'm able to do 1 2 3, and I feel like if you are a lady and unajua uko focused, uko determined venye umesema tu, you can actually go far, because the world is opening up for these ladies opportunities, and if they get somebody who is committed, manze, that's why I think umeweza hata kurise haraka hivi, because there's some refs maybe wamekuwa hapa hawajaipata that opportunity ya kuref hizo international games or whatever, but you umekuja ukatumia opportunity and the platform and you're able to get those opportunities and to represent yourself and also the country and even the women around the world who are hoping to get to those positions. So we are so happy, we're so thankful. Asante sana kwa come through. Hopefully we'll have another episode in the future. Maybe sasa utakuwa umefika level ingine, utuambie sasa huku juu kuko aje bana. Unajua huku juu kuko aje. So manze, endelea zidi kabisa, endelea kufocus, endelea kugrow, endelea kukua mali. Tunakutafuta, tunasikia bana, siko around bana, niko na international assignments. Hiyo ndo tunataka manze. So manze, asante sana. And before you close, you can give us your last remarks and then we call it a show. Twende game, tuko na magame leo.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. As we conclude, I'd love to say that I'm really humbled to be a part of your show. I'm really humbled that you're using your platform to address different issues and educate and inspire as well as empower other people. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate. Nashukuru sana coach. Nashukuru sana.
Karibu.
The other thing I'd love to say is when it comes to growth and development, this is all about self-desire. My story, my journey into officiating is very short. Sina milima na mabonde and the long waits and the intense part of getting into this space. But once I got into the space, my story has been about growth, perseverance, and resilience. You have to keep going when things get tough. You have to find a way to keep stepping up. And that is my story. Mine is all about growth because that is the
Mm,
story I can tell. That is the story I can testify to. But
mm,
hapo kwa milima na mabonde ngumu kidogo. So
mm,
regardless of the story that you have, you don't have to go through a lot, a lot for you to get
mm.
a space and thrive. You can
Yeah.
get there and you take the opportunity and work towards being better. That is
Mm,
sufficient now for you to progress.
mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Nice. You've had it, guys. I cannot say any more than that. That was a great show. It was a great episode. So till next week, guys, remember your game, your responsibility. It's your boy Collins Odhiambo and Ref Hazel. Tunawambia asanteni sana, tuonaneni. Peace. Asante sana Hazel.
All right. Ciao, ciao.
Aye.
Yo, lace up the kicks, it's that time again. Collins in the lab, letting stories begin. From the court to the mic, he breaking it down. Hoop dreams, real talk, no cap, no clown. Bounce like a dribble, mind sharp like a pivot. Life lessons in the game, he gon' make you feel it. Late nights, bright lights, goals in the fog. Every episode of Gem, welcome to the Lord. On Hoop Diaries, yeah, it's more than a score. It's heart, it's hustle, it's truth at the core. So press play, lean back, let the moment ride. It's Collins on the mic, take that journey inside.